Yo, what is up? My name is Sven and today we're gonna talk about different ways how you can prevent your base from losing it. Now, before you watch this video and you think it's totally irrelevant to you because you're an advanced Rust player, I understand, but I would recommend to check the timestamps of the video and in that case skip over how to build external TCs and go more towards the tips area of this video. Oh yeah, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more. Enjoy the video. So, before we jump into this video, I would like to remind you all that I'm actively doing giveaways in my Discord server. Pretty much every single week I'm doing a giveaway and you can win Rust skins in Steam. Now all you have to do to join these giveaways is join my Discord server and keep an eye out on the giveaways channel. In this video I'm gonna show you all different techniques how to prevent your base from being lost. Now with being lost I obviously mean not griefed / if you're raided that you still have access to your base. There's two particular reasons I'm making this short video. The first one is to help beginning players out because this is actually very simple to do and it allows you to rebuild even after you're being raided without losing your base. The second reason is that I still think that some of the community in Rust is unfamiliar with this. Now securing your base to a point that you cannot really lose it after you're being raided is actually very important because it allows you to rebuild and have fun the next day. Of course, being raided sucks, but being raided and losing the base that you farmed for nights long sucks even more. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to use overlapping TCs and other tricks to prevent your base from being griefed and to prevent your base from being lost. Now just to simplify this up, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Rust building concept, to prevent other players from building in or close to your base, you have to place a tool cupboard in your base. Now if you get raided and raiders get access to the tool cupboard and they destroy it and they place their own, they can basically place anything in your base they want. Now there are some techniques that you can use to prevent this from happening, aka make raiders not have control over your base, aka building permission. So for the first example, we have a normal 2x2. And normally speaking, I would say for a base like this, I would not recommend to apply this strategy. Although I still want to explain to you guys the root of the idea here. So what you can do if you have a normal 2x2, and of course there has to be a TC inside, obviously. So let's just go ahead and place that. Now it doesn't matter where you place it for this to work. So what you do is you literally just build out like that. 2 triangles. Remove the first one and then build out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares and then another triangle. And you should be able to place a TC in here. Now you can put a window or you can put a wall. Depends what you want. Now how this works is very simple. Let me just deauthorize from this TC. You can see I'm not authorized on that TC anymore. And we are authorized on this. Now, as soon as we destroy this TC, you can see that we cannot place it back at all. Like, nowhere in the base. We cannot build. We can only place floors, but that's normal. Now, by the point where we can actually start building from is right here. That's the closest we are able to build. So, necessarily, this TC basically takes over this base. And that's the whole point of this video. So, you can repeat this step all the way around. Let me just go ahead and fix it. Now, if you actually do end up getting raided and your main TC is destroyed and you cannot place it back, you have to destroy all your external TCs first, like this. And then place your main TC back. And then you should be able to place your external TCs back as well. Now this is quite a hassle, although this is kind of like the only thing you have to do if you're getting raided. Now you can obviously apply this. You can only do one. Like if you don't want to get raided or if you want to don't want to lose your 2x2, if it's so precious to you, you can literally just do like this. And this is already enough for raiders. They have to destroy that TC, but also this one. And you can apply it, making it stronger on all 4 sides. If you do that, it's basically a pain in the ass to raid, or it doesn't really change the raid, but it's a pain in the ass to get building privilege over, and so you cannot get griefed, and that's the point of this. Now just to show you guys proof of concept here, if we place a frame here and we place a triangle on top, you can see that we cannot place this triangle. That's because this triangle will be connecting that building part with that building TC to this building with that TC. So that is not possible. Now just to finalize the first example up, if you have a 2x2, I would really not recommend to apply this Because if you want to expand, you want to add honeycomb, you will not be able to, and it basically messes up your base. So you only want to fully build these external TCs out from your base when you know and you're satisfied with the size of your base. If you know that you're going to expand it more in terms of size, in terms of width, do not place these TCs. Now, for example number 2, we're taking a little bit more of a reasonable size base, and this time we have a kind of circle base, and we can still apply the same idea here. So triangle out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares, and a TC right here. Now, since we have a circle, we have 6 sides, so necessarily you're gonna want to have 6 TCs, and that's the idea here, that raiders raid your main TC and they have to destroy all 6 TCs in order to get building privilege over your base, so you cannot get griefed. Alright, in example number 3, we have a 5x5, and the reason I use this as an example is we have 5 sides now instead of 2. So instead of us being able to do this, we cannot really do that here, because we have the middle. So in order to fix that, it's actually very simple. We just use a square and then remove the first square and attach a triangle. So this one is actually more gapped than if you were to do it this way, although it functions basically the exact same way. And once again, it's very important that you do not connect this anyway with the main base. That connects and you don't want that. So make sure you don't do that. This is fine for a 5x5. Okay, so let's talk about some extra tips here. That is for the more advanced player watching this video. First thing I have to say is once you apply this to a normal 5x5, so this way, like that, what happens is that if raiders do end up destroying your TC and you have all 4 TCs like that, they are actually able to place the TC on the roof. The reason why is because this area right here is not high enough. It only covers the bottom part as it's connected to here. So the furthest point of this privilege is right here, which is just enough to fit the 5x5. Now if you combine that with 4 TCs on each side, the bottom is fine, but the top is not. Now in order to fix the privilege on the top, and now we cannot place this TC back because we have to demolish the externals first before placing the main TC back. So to fix that, a very simple way to prevent that from happening is to build frames as high as you can. Now right here the frame is connecting, so ultimately if you want to be 100% sure, you can do something like this, and this basically expands the building privilege from that TC up all the way. Now if you apply this all 4 ways around, okay, so once this is applied in all 4 sides, when I destroy the main TC of the base now, and once again, it doesn't matter where this TC is placed, as long as the main TC is placed before you place all the external TCs, demolish it. You can see we cannot place it back, not in any corner. And if we go up all the way, we cannot place the TC anywhere now. And before we could without the frames. So tip number 1 is very, very important. Use the frames to expand the building privilege from these external TCs. Tip number 2 is actually for the more tryhards under us. I like to use the external TCs not just for building privilege of the main base, but what if you could just actually expand the same privilege for the compound as well. So I like to have TCs. You're gonna need to have a TC like somewhere around here, because you're gonna have a compound unless you build a compound wall a bit like this, going in a kind of like in a curve close to the base. You're fine, but generally speaking, you're gonna need to have a TC here anyway. So my idea, what I used to do now, is align yourself with the corner of the base, place the foundation a bit lower than those, just so it looks better, like that, and apply the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a TC, like that. And then we can build up with frames as well. Now this is more for the more tryhards under us, although I would actually recommend to add these as well on all the corners. Why not? You can better be safe than sorry, and why would you lose your base if you can just do this? Okay, and so the last tip is use multi-TC bases. Now you can search on YouTube for Rust multi-TC base, and you will see there's a lot of bases that are multi-TC'd, including those of my own. This one is actually not multi-TC'd. I don't know why it shows up here, but basically by having a multi-TC base, you don't have to build the external TCs, as the external TCs hold up a part of the base. And so you save a lot of like trouble and time by building a multi-TC base from the start. So if you do it right, when you have a multi-TC base, you technically cannot really lose your base either way. Alright, now that was it for this one. Thanks again for watching. If you thought this video was useful, please let me know in the comments and leave a like on the video. Now, I know this video is more aimed towards the beginning players of Rust, but I feel like in the current state of Rust, it's actually very overpowered to use this technique in any base that you build. Even experienced and advanced players, I feel like, should use it more, because you basically don't have to lose your base. And that's a huge thing, because it can change the way you play Rust and have more fun. Either way, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.